Ah, what's up, ball miners? Welcome back to another great segment. This segment is called "Doing the Things You Love to Do," and what this is about is all about the creativity, the reason why we do what we do, what made us who we are, especially in our youth as children growing up. This is reason why we are the way we are today, who we are today, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, the things that took us by our imaginations, influenced us to become the artists, the book writers, the talented people that we are today by the grace and gifting by the Holy Ghost. What He put in us to distribute out to the world for people to understand and to see and to articulate. So this segment is called Doing the Things You Love to Do. And I'm just going to put it out there. I consider myself an artist. I'm a creative person at heart. I appreciate what what's come my way in my 42 years on this earth so far. What came out of me creatively in poems, short stories, drawings. There's multiple things. Content on my YouTube channels. These things comes and goes. Sometimes creative blockage comes in. But to all the artists out there, to all the poets, to all the writers, book writers, to all the philosophers, to all the ones that study, to all the ones that have a gift that took them to the next level, this segment is for you, and those upcoming artists and book writers and screenwriters and, producers and directors and dream chasers, that the desires that came from the heavens, the third heaven and the second. So we put things first in perspective. It comes from our imagination, and the imagination is what makes and what governs, our reality is what comes from our thinking. And I just say, as a child, a lot of things, especially, I'm an 80s baby. There's no secret to that. I'm an 80s baby. And, I thank God for being an 80s baby. The 80s and the things that came out in the 80s, and for example, like cartoons, video games, movies, television shows that I grew up on with my family, my loved ones, and the things I should have seen at a certain age or the things that I did see that still wasn't children appropriate, but we watched it. It helped us, mold us, and construct our thinking to a certain way that we should see things. Program us pretty much. It was programmed a certain way. So I'm not going in a crazy direction with this programming thing. That's another segment that's coming up soon. What I'm saying is what influenced me to be who I am today, the imagination, the creativity, the stuff that I am allowed to even think of in this realm. I appreciate it. It comes from the heavens, comes from the third heaven, comes from my Father in heaven. So, as what I'm saying is, to all the artists, to all the men and women and the children that tap into the creativity realm and create things with their mind and their thoughts and their words, with drawing, illustration, or poems, or stories, or short stories, This is what I'm talking about. This is where the angle is. And I'm going to share with you, it's not per se about me, but the things that made me who I am, made me the upcoming artist that I'm striving to be more and more. To the end of this time, to my time on earth is expired. I'm just going to share with you some things that influenced me a lot in my love for creativity, for drawing, for creating ideas, creating, sequences, comic books, characters, comic book characters. Comic books was a big influence as I was growing up, and sometimes today it still is. I don't really read it like I used to, but I keep tabs with it. I keep tabs with some of my favorite characters that I grew up with. It's like Spider-Man, the Turtles, Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and X-Men. I like some of their comic book arcs and stories. Reading comics, short stories, and stuff like that opened my mind and my imagination so much. It influenced me to become the artist that I am today. It influenced me to become more of a, pretty much, let me get this mic in the way, more of a mainstream person, as in creating content. And when I was growing up, grade school and high school, I created some comic books. I created some characters that was awesome, and it made my day, and it just came out of nowhere. But I was influenced by the great artists out there like Stan Lee and all the other Jim Lee and all the other artists, Frank Miller, all the other comic book artists and storytellers that not pretty much. I'm trying to stop saying that, guys. That helped me and influenced me to be who I am in liking creativity and everything. So what I'm saying is, guys, I was influenced by the X-Men. I was influenced by certain cartoons like Cops, Long Arm, Bulletproof. If y'all remember Cops, raise your hand. Cops was a great cartoon. It showed like another side of an armed force. Not the Cops like the live action cartoon, cartoon, but TV show. Bad Boys. Now, they actually had a cartoon in the 80s and late 90s called Cops. C.O.P.S. Cops. I forgot what it stands for, but it was cyborg cops, long arm, bulletproof, and stuff like that. And it was an awesome show. It didn't stay on that long, but it still was a great show. It influenced me in some kind of way, to start writing stories and start drawing characters similar to them. Watching X-Men growing up, the animated series, the 1990, 92, 91 anime series, not anime, but an animation series that was comic book accurate in a lot of ways. That inspired me a lot to create my own comic books. And growing up, me and my god brother CJ, we came up with our own idea to have our own comic book studio, like come up with a comic book, franchise. We call it, first it was called Smooth Comics, then we kept changing it to Black Dragon Comics. Then when I got a little bit older, I changed it to Savage Comics. And then we left like older means in college school and stuff. And then when we parted our ways and stuff, I went to the Army and stuff. I didn't draw as much as I did when I was back home. But there's a lot of creations that I had and a lot of drawings that I kept over the years from grade school all the way through my high school years. All my drawings, I kept some of them. And it amazed me how much that I did keep and how much I did not have with me. So I decided to make a portfolio of some of my early drawings from grade school through high school and some my adulthood, some years ago, 6 years ago, 12 years ago, some 15 years ago. And, I will go over that when I show you, the little portfolio of my drawings, and I will show you that, and you're gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna break everyone down and let you know where it came from, my ideas, how I got the idea. Not trying to steal nobody else's idea, but at the same time, it was fun, and I just thank God for the opportunity to create something in drawing and images like that. And God knows, He knows that it's fun and it's exciting, and everything that we do, it was going to pop out because my family loved it when I drew things. And I thought I was the only artist in the family, but I was very much mistaken because my cousin Tyrone could draw, my god brother CJ could draw, my little brother could draw, and my older brother could draw. And my cousins can draw. They do stories, short stories, but we never shared it with one another. And so that's the reason why you think you're the only one, but you're really not. My little brother, he could draw and he could remember poems that he did in high school from the top of his head, and I can't do that. I got to write it down and recite it back. But at the same time, it's great to see the artistry in people. Great to see their ideas come to life, on paper, paintings, books, just illustrations. And I mean, not the spooky kind, the evil kind, the dark kind. I don't endorse those things. I don't care what you say. I endorse, things that inspire people, that bring hope to people, that illuminate them and impacts them in a way that they go, okay, guess what? I understand what you're saying. I see what you were trying to do. I understand how you were trying to do it, and I see your vision. I mean, stuff that inspire people to become great, become better than they are, and that's what I'm saying. So, you know, most of my drawings and stuff that I would show earlier and show from earlier on in my life, people used to tell me, "It's great, man. You should be doing this. You should be doing that." And once again, guys, 10 minutes, 11 minutes in, I don't have my music. I can't roll like that. So there you go. We're gonna put it down like that. So let's continue. So where I was at with my drawings and everything that I have collected, throughout my years on the earth, man, it was amazing. I've seen other fellow artists and stuff. Even had, a best friend in high school. He had a creation and I had a creation, and we trying to do crossovers. We're just writing comic books, writing stories for comic books, drawing comic books. That movie Captain Underpants. What the friendship between the lead characters. They're writing comics. One write the story, one draw the illustration to express the story. I like Captain Underpants. That part right there brought back the childhood in me, man. The child in me, man. It brought back the child in me. And I was like, wow, man. I love this movie because it's so authentic to how I grew up. Everybody loved comic books. Everybody loved how, the X-Men, the story, the illustration, not the necessarily the blood and guts and stuff and the mature things that show in the comics, but the comic books that made it fun. The comic books that made you, the reason why you picked up a comic book. Excuse me. Get what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you don't understand what I'm saying, if you're not a comic book fan, I get it. But the things that just made you who you are, man. And that's what I want to share with you guys today. And I know those that are artists, those that do write books, they write scripts, and it's just all around artistic, on every level, with your artistic ways and in your creativity and your gifts that the good Lord give you. I know you're going to appreciate it. You're going to appreciate every bit of it. So bottom line is, and that's the bottom line, we celebrate all kinds of artists and their work on this show. So on this show, we celebrate those that have broken the levels of limitations and broke through limitations and are breaking fear and just express themselves the way they was meant to express themselves and show great things to people to inspire people to become great, without other people involved, in the vision, because it's the good Lord to give us the provision for our vision to come true. And it's up to him if it's of a thing, if it's of God, it's of heaven. He gives us desires of our heart. He gives us ideas to gain wealth, reading inventions and stuff. So it's not because of who we are, it's because of who he is that he wants to showcase himself through our work. Because we are little gods, little G's. So we're not the God to create universes, but we create universes in the earth on paper or through sculpture, through paintings, and we still have that ability and authority in that aspect, but not creating suns and moons and stuff like that. So just put that out there, not trying to get too deep and stuff like that. So what I'm going to share with you, I want you to write in the comments below. Do you, had the same? If you're an artist, if you are watching this segment, if you had the exact same mindset that I had, when you time to draw. If you're an artist, you draw, illustrate, and put it on paper. You put the ideas and visions on paper. That's what we're supposed to do. So, without further ado, this is called artwork from yesteryear. And if I'm spelling yester wrong, please forgive me. Please forgive me, because not trying to spell it wrong, but trying to just make sure that you guys know that this is something that's from yesteryear. The drawings that you're about to see, the artwork that you're about to see is from my childhood. It's from when I was at grade school and through high school. And it's not all my drawings. It's some of them that I kept even here in my own home in my storage. And some of them of the drawings is of my adulthood as well. But at the same time, most of them are really old. So some of them got stains on them, and whew, I needed that. Got stains on them and stuff. So remember, I'm gonna break down each drawing. Hope you like it. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you just go back to memory lane when you used to draw, when you first drew your first character on paper, and when you drew your character, your ideas, come up with a series or a comic book. And if it brings you back to nostalgia, yesterday, not trying to bring it to the past, but bring to a memory where you had a great time creating things, then this segment is for you. It's for the artists. So without further ado, see, obviously I was heavily influenced by the Power Rangers, and Japanese anime. Don't get me wrong, Power Rangers, Japanese anime, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a lot of these X-Men anime series, Spider-Man anime series. What else I can name? Silverhawks, Thundercats, He-Man, Transformers, GoBots, Captain Thunder, Captain Planet. I said Captain Planet, Captain Power. Excuse me, Captain Power, Captain Planet, Denver the Last Dinosaur, Doug, Ronin Warriors, Japanese anime, Gundam Wing. Just I can name so much and so much more, but this right here is influenced by Galactic Warriors, the Armor of Power, by the Ronin Warriors or Samurai Warriors in Japan, and I watched that, grew up with that anime. The anime was greatly influential of me creating characters and trying to mimic what I saw, influence my mindset how to create and draw. So Japanese anime went a long way too as well. So I give shout out to Japanese anime as well. As you saw my Dragon Ball segment with one of my guests, we're talking about Dragon Ball. We did it for 2 hours because it was a big impact on our childhood. Regardless, we had other things going on, but when we had opportunity to watch things like that, it created a great sense of creativity, and we're not copying the show, or we're just influenced by what we saw. So this is the Galactic Warriors and Armor of Power, and I tried to illustrate so much. I did this in grade school, and these are one of my drawings from grade school. And so I tried to do my best to illustrate, because comic books at the time was a big thing and part of me too as well. So I just have all Ninja Turtle comic books, X-Men comic books, Spider-Man comic books, especially Maximum Carnage's the series, all 14 of their comic books did Maximum Carnage when Carnage first came on the scene. I never had Avengers and stuff like that, but I had certain things, Superman, Batman here and there, but I'm a Marvel fan, so I have more Marvel comic books than DC. I had Image Comics. I had the Wildcats and stuff like that. I looked at some Savage Dragon, and that influenced me a lot of what I've named the cartoons and the comic books. Influenced some of my characters. Not that I copied them. Once again, it just influenced me to create things. And the main two of everything I just mentioned was Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That was my biggest inspiration, and to kick forward and create some of my characters. So this guy right here, that's on your right, his name is Roland. So Roland Warriors, Galactic Warriors. So he's Italian. So that Japanese anime was so powerful and so influential in me growing up. Ain't no copycat here, but it was very enjoyable. I enjoyed it. So let's move on to the next one. This guy right here And if you could see the date, it says May 29th, 1995. I was in high school, and I drew this picture in high school, and I was coming up with a series that he's not going to be the villain, but he was going to be a sinister type, to help out arms dealer style person. And I actually came up with an idea, influenced by the X-Men. See, the X-Men had the X-Men, X-Factor, Caliber, X-Force. So I was going to copy Marvel. I was just going to just copy the X part of the X-Men, title, and create my own X title, individuals with super abilities and supernatural powers. So I created the X-Marines. That was my creation. The X-Marines, former soldiers that were experimented upon, came up with extraordinary powers from the experimentations, and they became the X-Marines because they, used to be soldiers, and now they're not former soldiers, they're super soldiers, but now their powers are involved. They're not mutants, but they got been experimented on and developed these powers, and they be called, call on to defend the nation, the world, and the galaxy and stuff like that. So I was going to use this character to be like a sinister type, of the sinister dark syndicate type nature of the story. Not as necessarily a villain and not necessarily a hero, but in between. Not an anti-hero neither. He was just a sleazy character that works both sides of the fields, both sides of the coin, and trying not to be detected. He's one of these characters I was trying to develop to become more in tune and more inquisitive into the story. So that's what I'm trying to say. Let me trace some more. Yeah. Did I give him a name? No, I did not have a name for him. Point period. Point reason why. I didn't want to come up with no name that sound racist or a name that's going to offend anybody. Lee Long, and that's one of these names that normally he looks of an Asian descent, but but the name was going to be something so unique. So I didn't give him a name. I just drew him and had an idea to use him, but never got an opportunity to do it. That's good. Let's go move on to the next one. This guy right here, I drew him in high school, and I was highly influenced by Onslaught. Onslaught. That the Magneto and Professor Xavier and Reed Richards' son combined, and they form Onslaught. See, X-Men has Apocalypse, Avengers has Theranos, DC has Darkseid. So this was my version of those characters. This wasn't the final design, but it was one of the designs that I came up with, and I was going to use him to be the final bad guy, the major bad guy of the X-Marines. And they have Cyber Beast. Cyber Beast is another group outside of the X-Marines. I was coming up with this old vast universe of characters, and this was going to be one of the main villains right here, the antagonist. Armageddon. Now, Armageddon, there's a character named Armageddon. I think Marvel has him. I think it was DC or Marvel. But I didn't know that at the time. I don't think Armageddon, that name was out and given to another character at the time. So I named him Armageddon. And I'm going to show you later on that why I called him Armageddon. Because remember, me and one of my best friends in high school at the time, we had tried to do a crossover. I had the X-Marines. He had a group called the Warhawks, and I'll explain to you when I get to those pictures. So this was Armageddon, and so this was my Theranos, Darkseid, Apocalypse style character that was going to be the main villain, the big bad. Didn't get a chance to use him and explore the concept further because I wasn't sold on the final design, but at the time when I drew it, it was pretty cool. All right. I told you, big influence, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Yes, drew this in grade school. No, high school. So I drew this in high school. You see it has all 6 Rangers. And you see the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. You see the names. You see the costumes, all 6 of them up there. I was very influenced by the show. I ain't gonna lie to you. I know I said it on the tribute to Jason David Frank. You know, that I hated the show when the show first came out. I hated this show. This show was so cheesy and sleazy when the trailer and the pilot episode came out. You know, I didn't like it. Me and my big brother, we didn't like it. We hated every bit of the show until, all you know, the Green Ranger came out. Hold on. The Green Ranger. And when the Green Ranger came out, I went back to the beginning of the show and started recording every episode. From the beginning to the end to all of the lost galaxy. This show influenced me so much that, like I said, Galactic Warriors, the first picture to show you that. This had a big influence on that drawing as well. So this show right here, the characters in the show, especially Tommy Oliver, aka the great Jason David Frank, rest in peace, my brother. Big impact on my childhood and my artistry back in the day. Rest in peace, my friend, and rest in peace, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It was a great show, great times. Now, I kid you not, as I look back at this drawing, I drew this in high school. Soon as Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was over, then Power Rangers Zeo came on the scene. I drew this in honor of the Green Ranger. Not now. This is an old picture. This is a high school picture. This is 1994, 95-ish, when Zeo was very popular when he first came on the scene after Mighty Morphin. So, rest in peace, Green Ranger, because Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was gone. And that's why I drew this. Zeo, Red Zero Ranger, Tommy saying rest in peace, Green Ranger. Not knowing how hard of an impact this picture has on me now today, since my childhood hero, Jason David Frank, transitioned last November. So looking back at this picture, it hits different now. It hits real different now than when I first drew it in honor of the Green Ranger character from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Now it says a lot and has a lot of sentimental value that the actor, my childhood hero, Jason David Frank, that played both characters, is now truly transitioned and gone from this world. This thing hit hard, man, and I ain't gonna lie to you, it hit harder than just hearing him pass. Rest in peace, Green Ranger. Yes, sir. Once again, Jason David Frank, man, always a pleasure, man. Now, as you can see, I told you I was influenced by this show. I was not what the new slang that the children this generation use. Wasn't capping on it. You see that this is evidence. This is years ago. This is 1990s that I drew this picture. So this is 2023. This had to be around 90 when Zeo took over. Zeo came around late 94, 95-ish, maybe 96-ish. When Zeo came out, 96. So that's when I drew this. So I was in high school then. So this thing hits different now. Rest in peace, my Green Ranger. Miss you, my friend. Yeah. Miss you, my friend. Whew. Same thing. I drew this in 1996 when Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, came out. 95 when the movie came out. And Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. So it had to be 95, 96-ish. So this is Jason David Frank, but it's Tommy. But this is my version. I'm trying to draw him and stuff. I told you, big influence. That's my childhood hero. I try to draw all the Power Rangers Zeo. I keep calling him Zero. I don't know why I keep calling him Zero. Zeo. Power Rangers Zeo. So, yeah. I drew him. I drew David Yaws, Billy. Excuse me again. And I also drew Aisha. So, if they don't look exactly like them, remember, this was high school this was when I was a teenager when I drew these drawings. Jason David Frank, Tommy, try my best. And let me know if it looked like him. It's a good drawing of him or not. If it's not, hey, not apologizing because this is like 15, 16, 18 some years ago. So, or similar, something like that. So, hey, this is the closest I'm going to get. And that I drew of my hero. And guess what? I don't care. I like it. See, that's Aisha. Okay, Aisha. So I try my best to draw her, and I liked it. Most people say they didn't look like her, but I think it came out pretty good. So you leave comments below. Let me know if it was a good shot of her, a drawing of her or not. And this is Billy. I think it looked like him. I think this was a good drawing of Billy. You know, especially in high school. I think I did a great job of it. So if it looks like Debbie Yost and it doesn't, hey, to me it does. So I have Power Rangers and of drawings and them. So this is my version of celebrating the ones that made the show legendary. So hey, Tommy, Aisha, and Billy, legacy safe with me. Moving on. Now this is Storm Eagle. He's the leader of the ex-Marines. And so I tried to, do something different with him. But at the same time, he looks like a mix between RoboCop, Cable, and just full strength big man. So his name is Storm Eagle. So he's the leader of the ex-Marines. I didn't get a chance to explore any other style of design with him. This is the only design I have of him. I didn't explore him as I should. But as you see in the background, the car lights of a car shining while he's in front, kneeling down. So like the gun is up. But drawing at that time, it was fun. So this is Storm Eagle, very influenced by the X-Men, influenced by X-Men and what else? Just X-Men. So yeah. I'm not ashamed of it. I didn't copy no character, but I was influenced by them, so they helped me correct this guy in my very own way. Because the Ex-Marines was inspired by the X-Men, but totally different from the X-Men because they wasn't mutants; they were super soldiers. So, moving on. But this is Storm Eagle. Was the leader of the Ex-Marines. Now, remember I told you the crossover that me and my best friend had in high school. This is the cover of my. See, we was going to do two different ways of the crossover. I was going to do 2 to 3 issues of the crossover from my comic label, and he's going to do 2 or 3 comics from his comic label. I forgot his name of his comic label, but he was going to make his own version of the comics. I'm going to make my own version of the crossover, but we're still entwine the stories together. That's why it's called a limited edition crossover Ex-Marines versus the Warhawks. So the characters on the right is his character. So I had to draw his character, take his character design and draw his character from my style of drawing, my style illustration to draw his character. Exact same way he had to do my characters for his version of his comic. So it was kind of difficult because the way he drew his characters was different how I drew mine. So I had to adapt to his character design and make it my design for my characters, the illustration, the art, so it could come out the way the story shoot was written on my side, and the ones that the same vice versa with him. So that's how it supposed to went. So we never explored to 100% degree because we grew up and we didn't get a chance to get to the nitty gritty. But as you can see, Armageddon, the Internal Part 1, that was supposed to be introducing the big bad of from my universe. He was going to be the baddie of this whole crossover event. And we was excited about it, and we didn't get a chance to finish it. But there's a treat for you guys. See, on the back of this paper, there's parts of the comic. So I put it in the slider for you guys. So you can't read it, but you can see where we was headed with it. So you see, you got the lines. You see the helicopter comes dropping down a sinister figure. All of a sudden, since the figure is doing something with his hand, a bomb or something, and blew up a door. And then basically this building is the building of the mayor's it's a mayor's office. And he went on the top of the mayor's office, the Capitol building, whatever you want to call it, and broke in, blew the entrance and doors and walls off. just to get to the mirror, and can't really see what the mirror is saying. But it's an illustration of the comic that we started and tried to begin and get some issues of, and then boom, look at that. So you have that, and you see what he did. It's very violent. Yes, it was, and back in those days, the comics was very violent. So, hey, sue me. So the thing is, don't sue me. So he has the head of the mayor in his hand, and yeah, it was pretty violent. Pretty violent. This guy was a assassin somehow, and that was his job to kill the mayor and blow up the building. So you see what he did there. See smoke in the background. There's the mayor's body. Took the head off him. And so if the whole building, the room is on fire. I don't know what he's saying. I can't really read out because So now the next page, he placed a bomb. Long live Black Flag. I see that. 1 second, he's back into his helicopter. Now you see the whole building kaboom. So helicopter's flying away. The explosion in the background. So that was a taste of the comic. Didn't get a chance to finish it. So because we had other things to do and we explored and other ideas, we didn't never come back to stopping and fixing this comic book, which would have been great. Moving on. So I drew this in the early 2000s. So this is old, but it's not high school and grade school old, but this is my young adulthood. I drew this in my young adulthood a few years back. It was still a great concept, and wanted to use him with a comic book idea, and I didn't get a chance to do that as well. But I'm trying right now to get that spark back to do more comics and more storyline in comics, and trying to take some of these old concepts and make it modern time. You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I keep saying get what I'm saying. That don't make sense. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? There you go. This guy is Raven, another comic book character. You see Savage Dragon, or Savage Comic. I can't read that, but like Savage Dragon comics. So this was the last generation of my comic label. This is Raven. And on the back of this sheet is also another comic script that I was trying to fit and start to create, but didn't put it up here because it wasn't detailed, it wasn't finished. So I'm not going to show all unfinished work. I'm going to show you detailed work that you might enjoy and like. So these are some of my drawings. This is high school, so I did this in high school, and I think it was pretty good. I was very influenced by Wolverine, obviously, could tell by the claws and then the blade, and then Raven, more of a berserker style character than anything else. But if I explore more on him, he would have been a great concept of series. Moving on. This is early 2000s, so I drew that. I hope you guys like that. I think I like it. Women with attitude, a woman with attitude. I think it's a great illustration, and I liked it. I liked it. Black Queen, a virtuous woman, not mean, just being showcase of who the woman is and how I see Black women strong and focused and just very strong in discernment. So this was out to all the women out there, strong and not prideful, but just strong and getting things done, very serious in what they do. So it was a great drawing right here. So get a few more seconds of it, and then just write in the comments if you like it or not. This is early 2000s, late 2000s. So years ago, many months ago. Let me click on. This is Rampage. Rampage is part of the ensemble of the ex-Marines. He's not an ex-Marine, but he's part of the villain gallery of the ex-Marine. Not a Hulk figure. He's just a superhuman being. The backstory goes long, way in the past for these guys, even the villains. So he's one of these ones that they give him problems and fits and stuff like that. So this is a Rampage. Now I get to explore the concept of him more. Just came up with the idea, and never know. About to revisit him soon. About to revisit him real soon. And most of these characters that I have created, just bringing back nostalgia time. And I want to see if I can, because this hand right here, I broke in 2002, and I haven't been able to really, grasp my hand and drawing since, and that's why I normally don't draw the way I draw because of this hand, because I broke it. But it healed back, and thank God for the healing. But it's not the same as it with. You know what? I don't put it this way. Amen. So I try to draw and here and there, but it's gonna be great. So I'm gonna visit these characters, guys. So this is Rampage, part of the go back to him, part of the ex-Marine universe. And next one, this is the Creeper. Yes, he's not part of the ex-Marines universe. I also follow McFarlane, in Spawn. I had a few Spawn comics. Yeah, Spawn was wild. Spawn was dark, but Spawn, I like how he drew the illustrations in the comics and how he connect the story with Spawn. And not saying that Creeper is a hell Spawn, is just he's influenced by the idea of Spawn, and so that's why it's similar, looking like a warrior from hell or something like that, but he's not. And there's a backstory to the Creeper, which I'm not going to tell you guys because nobody steal my idea. So, but there's multiple versions of Creeper into the timeline, so that's why the story goes back, way back. So this is the medieval Creeper. So who the bloodline behind the armor goes back a long way. So I'm not going to explore or give out my idea because I'm still going to explore this character some way, somehow in the near future. So get out my ideas and start trying to steal my ideas. Excuse me. So this is early 2000s. I was just drawing and doing. I think it came out great. You can see his hand on the side of the laptop. He's going in. I don't know what it is. Turtle, duck, lizard, noid person, but it's a good illustration. I like it. Got my John Hancock right there, and you see the date. And so this is years ago, man. This is 2000s, or I think it's 2000s. I can't really see the date. So, but it was a good drawing. I thank God for the opportunity and the ability to do these things that He's given me to showcase it on paper. No, I didn't give it a name. I just drew. Sometimes I just draw and then just move to the next drawing. Whatever comes to my mind. Just like this guy. This is the ninja. I just drew him. This is high school. I just started drawing him because Ninja Turtles and the Foot Clan and the Hand from Daredevil and all kinds of sinister beings and stuff like that. That look in the shadows. At the time as a teenager, I like action. I like great story with villains and heroes. So I created this ninja guy just without just thought. I didn't need nothing for a series or anything. I just drew him. I just want to draw something, see what I'm capable of doing. Sometimes I used to challenge myself back in the day, just to push it, see what kind of drawing, what kind of illustration I can get out the way. Excuse me. But it came out great. I liked it. But this is high school. I drew this in high school. See, the Creeper is back. It's another iteration of the Creeper. I didn't put all the iterations of Creeper in this segment because, like I said, I don't know if I stole my idea. The cyborg future Creeper. So this is a future version of Creeper. So, this is just prototype. Prototype. He looks more of a robot, and Spawn is, you see, the influence by Spawn in his face, but not trying to copy Spawn or anything. It just was influenced by the character. So get off my back, okay? Get off my back. I was young. I was a teenager. We all did it. Things that inspired us. It inspired us to be better better persons and better creators and content makers. And like I said, we influence something. Always got to influence the artist. So this is Creeper, and he's coming back some way, somehow in the near future. Okay, I had an idea. See, this is mechanical. This is a mechanical spider. This is a spider mech, giant robot. And I had an idea called BattleTech. And this is when I was in high school. And I'm like, man, BattleTech, what happens if you have, mech armor, but look like animals, like a wolf, a mech wolf, or mech bear, mech spider, and, and people like Zords just in like Zords control them. So I come up with a concept called BattleTech. But I didn't know that BattleTech was TM, it was trademark. already a franchise, already a toy company, almost similar to my idea with Mix. So I was like, what in the this? I never seen the concept at all. And then when I did some research online, I saw the concept online, never seen it before. And guess what? Somebody beat me to the punch, regardless I knew of it or not. So I was like, okay, so there goes that. It stopped me in my tracks, so I never pursued it to finish anything with it because it's not only a drawing of BattleTech, but only one I could find that's in my archives. I'm gonna move on. Okay, this story. Everybody, I don't care what age you are, if you could draw or try to draw a stick figure, I don't care. You try to come up with your own version of Batman or some type of Batman style, Kate Crusader style character. And with this character, his name is the Dark Avenger. And the Dark Avenger. So with the Dark Avenger, what that was, the Dark Avenger. So everyone had, their Batman style character. So his name technically was the Cape Avenger. And he had a sidekick named Drake. Okay. So like Batman and Robin. So didn't copy them. This was my version of a Cape Crusader, man. I was influenced by them. Okay. So I was trying to be campy and comical with the character. And then out of nowhere, Batman the Animated Series came out. When Batman Animated Series came out, it kind of changed everything for me. So when I watched that cartoon, that series, man, it just metamorphed my mindset. So I said the Cape Avenger and Drake, not my version of Batman and Robin, but the similarities is close. I decided like, nah, let me change him to the Dark Avenger. Let's build a story that something happened to the Cape Avenger that made him became the Dark Avenger. And watching Batman Man series inspired me to do that. I made a comic about him and like a storyboard wide. I didn't put it up here in the segment, but just getting an idea of this character and who influenced this character. Not Batman. I did mention Batman, but it wasn't Batman that really influenced this character. The Batman and Man series influenced the idea, but Darkman is the guy that really influenced the Dark Avenger. Batman helped. So I cleared that up. So Darkman and Batman helped this character come to life, the Dark Avenger. And Marvel has a character, or DC has a character called Dark Avenger somewhere. I know it's a character called Dark Avenger, not the Dark Avengers, but the Dark Avenger. I don't think there's a character called the Dark Avenger, but the Dark Avengers. So I didn't pursue it, and I just kept going a different direction. So if you can see it on this same paper, on the other side is the Dark Avenger, the ones you just saw. See, he's on one side. This is on the other side. So this is all the gadgets and gears because Batman, the animated series. And, I think not Phantom. Alec Baldwin played a superhero in the 1940s. I forgot the name of it. That influenced the gadgets and stuff when I seen that. Spirit, it was a Spirit. That wasn't the Phantom. What was the name of that superhero he played? It'll come back to me. But it influenced the gadgets and gears when I saw that movie as well. So I was a teenager child, and great things influence great people, and it came out great to me. So these guys, wow. I had a comic book called Defenders of Dino City, and I told you the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles influenced me a lot to come up with, characters like these. So these are the next generation because this is called the new Defenders of Dino City. And this is Rex Jr. This is his best friend, Jake, Dino Kid, I guess. So, and this guy is like a hologram. He was part of the old school crew, but he's a hologram for the new school crew. So, because this is generations later. So this is the new Defenders of Dino City. I had a comic book of the old one, the old Defenders of the Dino City. I didn't put it in the segment because I really can't find all of it. But I did put it up, this right here, so you guys can see. This that being creative is awesome, man, and putting your vision on paper and letting people see it. It inspire hope and inspire other people to be creative as well. Get away from a lot of TV, TikTok, and all that stuff, and you know, and pursue some creativity. Get in the book and read and start drawing and see what you can do. It takes you to a whole new universe, man. I'm telling you, the supernatural bridge, meditation, the supernatural bridge. Supernatural bridge. Imagination is it's tied to the supernatural bridge, man. Next. This is Raphael. You already know. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This must be the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles side slides. So as you can see all the detail. I used to draw turtles a lot because I was a big turtle fan. So this is Raphael with a side and a gun. I know you've never seen him with a gun. I think they had a gun one time in the comics, Image Comics or IDW Comics, but yes, Raphael has a gun. Next one. I think it's one of my favorite Ninja Turtle pictures that I drew. And the detailed background, the sky, the shadows, the grass. And no, Raphael is not my favorite Ninja Turtle, but I used to draw them all. And, I used to draw them all and just draw whichever turtle come in my mind or what I was thinking about at the time. I just draw them. And Raphael was particularly the one I wanted to draw at this time. And he's doing his martial arts or whether he's doing his stance, stretching, and whatever he's doing at the time, I drew it. And it came out nicely, the detail and everything, as the lines and show everything that he's doing. So, like I said, these things brought me to life. Ninja Turtles was a big inspiration of drawing and creativity as well. Because if you know the story of the Ninja Turtles, how they came about, and how the Ninja Turtles, oh my goodness, how the Ninja Turtles became a phenomenal hit. If you haven't seen the documentary, go see it. It's very inspirational and keep you on your toes, man. I'm telling you, man. Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It's happening with the idea. Then it happens over time. Yeah, Ninja Turtles. These are the movie Ninja Turtles that I try to draw on my own, okay? These are Ninja Turtles that I try to draw on my own. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, when that movie came out in 1993. So I tried to draw the movie Turtles from that movie. I don't think I did a bad job. I think it came out pretty good. Okay, what they looked like in the movie, was all not all that stellar. But I think these look kind of better. But I try my best to mimic it the best way I can. This is Michelangelo. Then I got Raphael. I think he looked just like the one in the movie, spots and stuff like that. Then I got Donatello. Same thing. Donatello is my favorite turtle of all of them. I like him. I love them all, but Donatello is my favorite. It's Leonardo, the leader. So I tried to make him look just like the movie version and stuff, the teeth and stuff, how they messed up his mouth and everything. But this is my version of movie Turtles. Hope you like it. Okay, this is just a doodle I did in class, high school. Oh, matter of fact, 93. So that was grade school with the movie Turtles. With the movie Turtles, grade school. This is grade school. And yes, I was drawing in class. You see, there was notebook paper I was drawing on. And was I paying attention to the teacher? No, sure wasn't. Nope. Turtles on my mind. I drew them. Batman, like I said, Batman animated series. Big influence. So, gotta get shout out to Kevin McCoy. Hey, awesome Batman for many years of my generation. You're going to be missed, sir. Moving on. This little doodle right here. I just drew that. I was in high school and I drew him. And so I drew him in high school and, didn't get a chance to finish him. But it was coming out great. Now, back to Ninja Turtles concept. I remember, in the late 80s, early 90s, when the Turtles was high and popular, even during the Power Rangers time and reign, everyone had their Ninja Turtle clones. Street Sharks, Biker Mice from Mars, you name it, it was out there. So, Ninja Turtles even picked on themselves in their own show with using Napoleon the frogs. So you couldn't use frogs, if you want to make something like Ninja Turtles. So I used, the worst thing possible, Warhogs. So I use pigs. So these guys was called the Incredible Warhogs. So the Incredible Warhogs, you know, you see them before, you see now. You got my boy Juice, my boy Ham, which is the Donatello character of the group. Juice is pretty much Leonardo. You got Bacon, okay, speaks for itself because he's a pig. Bacon comes from Warhogs and pigs. So Raphael all the way. And then you got Bits. Get it? Bacon, Bits, Juice, Ham, Bacon, Bits. Yeah. So pretty much Bits, Michelangelo, the lighthearted, the heart of the team. I came up with my own concept, not copy, but just influenced. The Incredible Warhogs. It never got to fruitization, never got off the ground. And these guys was not ninjas though. They weren't ninjas. They was more like commandos. They had guns. That was my mindset. It's a long story. That's why I never got off the ground. Moving on. This drawing, I just drew it like a mixture between, Bugs Bunny and Roger Rabbit. And I was making fun of my brother's creation, Rackstone Rabbit, So I drew my version of Rackstone Rabbit and then put a little red infrared dot on his head, and his handkerchief, cloth, whatever, right in the middle, the red one, is a mask. And we put the mask on, he transformed into a different type of being. So that was my version of Rackstone Rabbit. And that was my brother's idea. So I drew his version, my version, of Rackstone Rabbit. And, I think I liked it. It came out pretty good. Moving on. This guy, high school, I drew him in high school. Where I can't believe I still have this drawing because he's definitely one of my favorites that I drew. Did nothing with him. He was going to be part of the ex-Marines universe. And the way I drew him kind of threw me off because I couldn't draw him in a different position or anything else because he's too detailed. Excuse me. So, yeah, I didn't give him a name either. I just drew him, and about my mindset, he was going to be part of the ex-Marines, and I never used him. But I still thank God I got the drawing. He still came out awesome. This, you can tell the date, 2004. I changed the name. It was a different name. So we're going to leave it at that. This is my wife. So we're going to leave it at that. This is Warrior Queen of Bordinia. So I changed the name. So don't worry about it. I wasn't married in 2004. So not to Angela. But this drawing has history. So I'm moving on to the next. Bye. This guy. See, I got all the skill sets and descriptions of this guy. His name is Hitchman. Yes, get it, Hitchman. So wasn't influenced by nobody. I just drew him, and he's more between a Deathstroke, Spider-Man type guy, and he's hardcore assassin. See, he got hook for a robotic hand for a hand and claw for a hand. So this guy was great. At the time, I tried to color him. I was a terrible colorer, very terrible. But I'm glad I kept this drawing. It was awesome that I still had this drawing in my arsenal. So it was cool. It was very cool. Moving to the next one. Yoko. So I was a big Street Fighter 2 fan. And Street Fighter 2 fan, period. Animated games and all that. So I can't try to come up with my own fighting concept, style, idea, and story. And I call it Mystic Fighter. Not trying to be like Street Fighter, not Semi Showdown, nothing like that. Just coming to concept of a Mystic Fighter using chakra and chi and stuff like that. Now that I understand what chakra and chi is, I won't be using that concept. But at the same time, I was influenced by Street Fighter. Remember, I was a teenager. I was a child. So, I came up with my own concept, my own fighters. So it was a good time. I had more fighters than him, but I don't have the drawing on me. So he's the only one I have. So God be the glory. Thank God I have them for all these years. Mutant of Rage. Yes. Mutant of Rage. I was heavily influenced with this guy, with the Hulk, Savage Dragon, The Thing, and who else? Savage Dragon. So the story with Mutant of Rage, I did watch a lot of Savage Dragon. I like his cartoon. He came on USA and his comic book. Savage Dragon was nothing but the Incredible Hulk, but a dragon. So from I think it was Image Comics. It was a great comic book. It was a good comic book. I like Savage Dragon. They changed him a lot and stuff. I stopped following the comic, but Savage Dragon was a great character. So it influenced me with a mix of the Hulk, mix of the Thing, a mix of attitude of Wolverine. And you got the Mutant of Rage. He's a cop. And he's not a direct copy of Savage Dragon, but influenced with a Savage Dragon. So this is a good draw. I'm glad I still have it. It's still intact. Got spots and stuff. Wolf Fang. This drawing, I was very influenced by Gundam Wing. Gundam Wing, Gundam of the East, Gundam period. Wolf Fang was supposed to be a part of the Battletech series. Since it was already, the name was taken, I didn't try to make a new name. I just call him Wolf Fang. And you see the date, 96. This is when I drew this guy, So humongous mech robot and stuff. And it was going to be an epic story, but I never know. Could revisit him, Wolf Fang. So 96. So drew that picture in 96. It's amazing that I still have it. If you can see the stains, they own the picture. That's how old these pictures are. I even have my name at the bottom. This is how old these pictures are. Grade school, high school. This guy, obviously influenced by Batman, the animated series. His name is Ricochet. I really was going to use him. Like I said, things happen, things change. I might still use him, but there is a superhero called Ricochet. I think he's part of the Marvel universe. I think he's out there, but I think my Ricochet came first before that Ricochet. I'm just saying, but we could always put it to test. But heavily influenced by Batman, yes. Batman animated series. You see, you got that Batman cape and Carl and the lips, but got the symbol on his chest. Very influenced by the Batman comic books and stuff like that. So, yeah, this is one of my favorite drawings, and it still is today. Might still use Ricochet. Might still use it. Never know. And to everyone that has graced this segment today, I thank God for you. I drew this in high school as well. So, but I am going to present this to you as a rose while you're still living and breathing. Thank you for watching, the segment this far. And this rose is for you. I drew this in high school and I still got it. And the paper is still in condition. It's not bent, torn, stuff. So I decided to skin all my drawing. So it was awesome. It was awesome. So that's the end of the slides. Thank you for watching, etc., etc. But bonus. Give me one second. Y'all gonna love this. I'm not a prideful man. I believe in pride, but this is my pride and joy, if you want to say that phrase like that. Because, like I said, comic books, I loved them. So to a point, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, I made my own version, own story, drew my comic books, and just hold on for a second. Just hold on. There you go. Reach. All right, got it. Boom. This is the crown, crown. Well, this is my crown achievement. Growing up as a teenager, as a teenager, drawing the things that I love, doing the things I love to do. And if you can see that, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the return of the Green Ranger. See Lord Zed? So I had my cousin trying to color it for me and stuff like that. And, thank God for them. But, yeah. But this is my crown achievement that I still have today. You can't see it. It sucks. Comic book style 101. Everything. Just giving you a taste. Can't really give you everything. So I did this a long time ago. Look at that. Hope you can see that. So, I can't really give you the nitty gritty of it, but this is a crown achievement right here. Ooh, it's blocking the light. My bad. It sucks. Green screen and stuff. But yes, this is my crown achievement. One of them. This is part one. This is part two. It says stain, that's how old these things are. You get what I'm saying? But it's my original concept of my version of the Return of the Green Ranger. All that. How many pages? 28 pages. 28 pages, guys. I know my brothers and people that remember these. You remember this comic? Look at that. Regardless, I mess up the green screen in the back. It's blocking the light. I just want you to see this. This is part two. This is part two. And part three. Yeah, I was busy. This. I didn't finish this one, guys, because the reason why I didn't finish part three. Look. Reason why I didn't finish part three. And told you I was a big Green Ranger fan. This is evidence. Don't have to fool my lord to no one, but yes, look at that original concept, everything. You know, see, I even had the Red Ranger going evil. So, you know, with the new bad guy I just made up for this comic book, man. Look at that. Get what I'm saying? Green Ranger was number one. Number one. This is part three. I didn't get to finish it. You get what I'm saying? Didn't get to finish it. Didn't get to finish it. I want you to see this right here. Awesome, man. Didn't get to finish it, man. Wow, bringing me back, bro. Bringing me back. Always bringing me back. Well, yeah. I had part one, part two, part three. And the real reason I didn't get to finish that comic because I had to go to the Army. The Lord called me on to the armed forces. Didn't get a chance to finish my dream comic book series. So, yeah, that's my pride and joy right there. That comic book series right there, that took majority of my time to finish as a youngster, man. And the first one I did in the dark. True story, guys. My brother. It was a thunderstorm and all the lights went out and I was drawing and I just kept drawing and drawing. I didn't have no light. I just kept drawing like I was just seeing the pages and as my eyes like flashlights. I just kept drawing, man. I just kept drawing. I just kept drawing and drawing. I kept drawing and drawing, kept drawing and drawing. And then when the lights came back on, I know it was the grace of God because when I looked at them pages in that comic book, I was like, oh my God, it was amazing. That's why I kept going. Because, you know, I was a big Power Rangers fan, man. So, you let me know in the comments below what made you the artist that made you today. And I shared you my history, I shared you my drawings, just give you a little taste of, you know, my upbringing, man. It was comic books, man, and just being creative, being very creative. And yeah, being very creative. Being creative indeed. But all right, guys. Like I said, leave your comments below. Don't forget to like and strike. Subscribe. Man, you know what? I just thank the Lord for just this opportunity, guys. But I bless you guys. I love you. God bless you. Be safe. Have blessed dreams. And this has been the bottom line. My name has been LJ. I'm just humbled that I shared you all my drawings from a childhood that I drew, and in my pride and joy, you know, not pridefulness, but just my bread and butter. And I still hold the homemade comics to my heart to this day, especially now that Jason David Frank is gone for real. So it means a lot more to me now than ever before. So, but love you guys. Stay blessed. I salute you. This has been the bottom line. The bottom line. Continue to do the things that you love to do that made you who you are today. God bless you. Put God first. Be safe. This has been the bottom line. I have been LJ. I am LJ, and I will continue to be LJ. And see you next episode. Peace. The Bottom Line, weekdays on LDB TV. Presented by LDB